There we go. Hey, yo, it's your boy Caleko. Right now, you're looking at my Covington calving machine. And, hello there. I am planning on working on this stone a little bit more tonight. If you don't know what I do, I tend to hunt for gems and minerals around the United States and then show you guys how to do it, what I found, what it looks like, and all that kind of good jazz. And recently, I've been working on fire agate for about the last year, I would say, about this point, because I have access to an amazing location and mine and great material. And I've really fallen in love with it, which I think there's probably a lot of people that dabble in a whole bunch of gems and minerals, but then probably tend to specialize in a few. And I think that's where I'm heading at the moment. But, whoops. Oh, no way. That just happened live. If you heard it, I just totally dropped this huge piece on the hard tile. So I guess that's some excitement. I just totally dropped this on the hard tile. And the good thing is the one thing it broke off looks to be just some clear. Focus for me, camera. Maybe if I turn the flash on, it'll focus for me. So that's the piece that it broke off. The piece that broke off that I can see is not a big deal. About what else it might have cracked, I'm not sure if it did or anything at all. It didn't fall from very tall, but this is like some travertine tile in this bathroom. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's hard. It's hard, and fire agate tends to be hard and glassy too. Everybody's in there saying hi to each other. The yellow from that light backs off as soon as I back away from it. So I was actually going to start by, the funny thing is I was going to start this video off by grinding on this, and this just broke off a piece that I was planning on grinding on. So I guess that helps a little bit. I'll take this off at the edge here. I plan on taking some of this off with the wheel, and some of this area right here. But now I'm not so sure, because I was originally planning on keeping like a pendant hole spot. It's like a necklace piece or something. It's a huge honker. Now I'm not sure. I know this. I'm starting over here. Let me see if I can zoom you in a little bit better. You've seen the stone before, Bill Randall, but the stone never got finished. Whoa. Got to make sure my drain line is draining properly. I hear it bubbling over here because I've got it, have it inside the water. It needs to not be inside the water, above it, or it won't quite drain properly. So people have seen this stone before, but this stone's not finished yet. Since it's not finished yet, I want to try and finish it out. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. If you can see this wheel right here, it's already wet. I haven't started the machine yet, but I've got my water running. I'm also going to take off some of this nub right here. That piece right there. I'm going to start by taking that off. Ooh, I want to be careful on that one. I planned on having a better shot of, or angle for you guys going down on this these wheels, but I couldn't find one of the pieces that connects to my tripod. So my other tripod is inaccessible at this moment. So for me to still be able to get a video up, it was sort of a choice between getting the video shooting from over there, or not, just not making a video, because I couldn't find that thing anywhere. Don't know why it's just not on my tripod, to tell you the truth. Mask is fogging up my glasses. Being careful, because this is like a, I'm not sure, it's somewhere between a 200 and 300. I know it's not my 80 wheel. So I don't want to hit any of the good spots with this wheel, because it can take a pretty nice gouge out of it. It was also a cheap wheel when I bought it. I bought it from a very inexpensive place, which I've never bought wheels from them again, because 2 of the wheels I spent money on, I just wish I would have never spent that money. And I've been trying to avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. Getting close. Here's where I'm at on that little nub. So that nub's almost gone. Really want to get it a little bit closer, right to where I can carve real easily to the rounded shape of where we got this green fire right there. That's what I'm shooting for. Hello, all 15y in here. I just realized I should probably put on my other glasses too, although they got stuff all over them. I should clean them first. Getting close. I think I'm really close. That's good enough, I think. I think I'll take it from there. Whoop, bouncing the camera around. Sorry about that, guys. So that's where that nub was right there. I've pretty much gotten it gone to where I can get at the fire agate that's sitting on that angle. And I'll carve that piece out. Depending on what gets done with this fire agate will depend on, how thin we try and make it and stuff like that, and what ends up happening with this color on this side that sort of petered out right in that spot. But who knows what's under that, because that's a really thick bubble. It's a lot of room for a lot of fire agate to be, a lot of layers of fire agate to still be in there. Now I'm going to go over to this other side right here, the side that got broken. I'm going to shape that up. I'm going to shape this side up right here. And I think I need to fix your guys' camera angle a little bit. Let me see what I can do. There we go. That's not too horrible. You guys can see what's going on like that. Now I'm trying to shape around the nice nuggets that got the color really already on them, while getting through this stuff that doesn't look like it's got much color in it, which, you know, after I get to this brown, I'll probably do all that by hand, expecting that there's going to be color layers in there. But right here, out of this white and milky, I'm expecting there not to be anything there, so I'm trying to take it down and get it to a better carving fashion, get rid of some of this excess here. I'll be live with you guys again at least one more time this week, trying to get 2 before the weekend, because I want to take some of the Slaughter Mountain fire agate I have and window it better than it already is windowed, and show you guys some of that, and then sell those this weekend. So that's the plan for me. Hopefully that all works out. If you caught my video earlier today, I was also, I've also been working on the new editing software that I just purchased, and which is the second piece of editing software I purchased, because it's not for a Mac. Now I've switched to PC, so that first $300 I spent was completely down the drain and a waste of money at this point. But here soon, I should have some much better videos coming out, and they should be coming out faster now that I have better and faster now that I have all the tools to make everything work properly. Now it's just getting the knowledge to utilize it. I mean, generally on a cabin machine, you want to use the whole width of the wheel, but right now I'm really working with the shape of the agate, so I'm not trying to use the whole width of the wheel. That is not what I'm doing at the moment. That, and like I said previously, this wheel in and of itself is not that great, and it's meant for ripping stuff away. When I say not that great, I should say not that fine of a grit. Nothing wrong with the wheel itself. And I think I'm about good to where I want to carve this by hand. I could possibly take out some of this clear right here, but then if I take out that bottom area of clear right here, that's the shape I'm working with now. So I could take out this area clear, but this is the area clear I'm going to leave at the moment, thinking of being able to bale it like such if wanting to later. I mean, carving on these wheels right here are relatively, it's, you know, quick work, as opposed to hand carving stuff is nowhere near that quick a work. All right. So I'm going to turn that other machine off, and I'll flip you guys around real quick, and then we will get to some handwork. Got any questions? Feel free to roll in your questions right now. I'll read through the comments right before I start with the Prodigy Flex Shaft tool. Oh, I got a little bit of water on the ground. I should dry that up. Working with as much electricity around as I have, it's good to know exactly where all of your water is coming from at the time. So if you end up having a pool of water around you, you should take care of it. Whoops, that way no electrical accidents. Turning it down there. Actually, now that I say that, I see I've got a leak from someplace else I shouldn't be leaking from. A little bit of water coming off this machine I shouldn't have. I wonder where and why. Give me 1 second, guys. While you guys are looking at a dirty frame, I'm troubleshooting again. Everything was fine, and well, it's not coming from the other side. Must just been from something I did earlier. Doesn't matter. That part's done now. Let me clean these glasses off real quick. We're ready to go. All right, I can turn this around too. Hello. Hi. I keep fogging up my glasses with these things. Somebody needs to make these masks to where they cover your face really good and they don't fog up your glasses. Bend Over said, I received my agates. Thanks. I'm very happy. When is your next fire agate auction? Next fire agate auction is going to be this weekend. Haven't decided what days or if only one day, but it is going to be this weekend. I'll have more information for you soon, probably by tomorrow. At the latest, I'll have more information on that for you. I'm going all the way to the back of the beginning of the conversations, people saying hello to each other, all the usual suspects. Let's see. Scrolling through, all kinds of people saying hi to each other, and Elkswiller, and Bill Randall, and Stacy Anderson, and Crick Calmaster, and Tandy Jenkins. Tandy thinks I should make a a bracelet or a bolo tie out of that thing, out of that fire agate. Would make a hell of a big chunk on a bracelet, wouldn't it? Bill Randall asked, is that felt on the wheel to stop the splashing due to the top of the water? The felt is to guide the water on the wheel properly and to stop. It sort of works as two things. It stops splashing and it makes sure that a nice flat hard line of water is on the wheel, at least when the felt is actually laying on the wheel. So if you have a lot of water running, instead of it splashing everywhere, you just have like a nice glide of water running over the wheel. Once I realized that trick, if you saw the wheel I was just working on right there, that doesn't actually come with this Covington. That's something I manufactured and put together to have a fourth wheel, or actually the way I see it is I can take the two end wheels off. So I have the end wheels are like my hardcore grinding, anything up to 300. And then my center two wheels, which I almost never change, are 600, one hard, one 600 Nova wheel. And then my outside wheel is a 1200, and I have a 3000 that I will swap those out on the outside wheel. So the way I figured is I use my left outside wheel for the 80 on up to 300 grit and swap out wheels when I need to. And then on the 600s or in the center, they stay there. And then on the outsides, if I need to go up above 1200, then I just swap wheels out as needed. At least that's the plan. To tell you the truth, I haven't even broken my 3000 wheel out of box except to look for it yet, or look at it yet. That's the only thing I've done with it. So yeah, let me check on any other questions. And it's actually not felt, it is Brillo pads, and Scotch-Brite Brillo pads. And I also have those lining the bottom of my tray too. It keeps bigger particles from floating down your drain tube if you have a drain tube like I do running out my window. It also, if you drop a stone, which I was doing that so much when I first started doing this, I was breaking stones so much by dropping them on this hard steel bottom. So the Brillo pad makes it to where if I drop a stone, it doesn't get all damaged and it doesn't fly back in the back of the wheel usually. Craig Calmaster said he got our stones today. Great bonus. Thanks, Caleko. You're welcome. Elk Slayer asks, what's the combo to my safe? Big Fish Johnny said, when do you call it quits while grinding through levels? That's all based off of personal preference, how good you are, and what you're looking for. With this, I haven't actually picked a spot and just grind through it nonstop, but that's because with the agate that comes from Slaughter Mountain, Opal Hill, this is Opal Hill, not Slaughter Mountain. With the agate that comes from Opal Hill, you can see sometimes the layers of different colors and the way they are, meaning that you'll have layers of fire on this side of the stone that go to where you see this iron line. I need to turn the camera around for you to see what I'm talking about. You will be able to see color on this stone that goes to where this iron line is right there, and then it'll stop. And then sometimes you will have that sort of happen to where it stops in the center of a hump, like that's the end of that iron color on that one. And then at the same time, deeper down, you'll end up having more color. So I don't know about Slaughter Mountain or the other fire agate locations, but I do know with Opal Hill, just because you see, one layer of color and that's where it stops, it doesn't mean anything for what's inside of it. I've had pieces that look like they didn't have any brown in them, that looked like they were white, and I put them on a wheel and just started grinding and grinding and grinding, and then I had all kinds of purples, colors pop out of the center, including purple. Now that I said purple, I did have purple show up. Let me get this water going. Looks like I got a little bit of air in the line to work out. turn it up. There we go. Oh, you guys can't even see that. I have you tilted the wrong way, obviously. Now I'm going way too fast. Lots of water means less dust. That is one good thing. Oh, right now, since I'm so close to some green, and I haven't tested this to really see how deep it goes, you know, or if this is the only color. I mean, that edge right there doesn't really help me. That it shows it's clear with a brown round, so I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this spur right here, and I'm going to take off some more of this white. And this burr is not super aggressive. I believe it is a, it's either a 200 to 300, or it is a, oh, what is the other grade? Oh, I need to put my other glasses in too. 325 to 4. That's what I think it is. I think it's a 325 to 400. The Watchtower dude has got dad jokes. I don't got dad jokes. As far as dad jokes go, I'm a horrible dad on that one. Don't got a lot of dad jokes. But she was super surprised when I said, hey, how'd you like to have my car for your graduation? She was like, oh, really? Thought I was messing with her. Are you serious? I thought she'd be one of those kids that was like, why would I want that? Like, that's not awesome. There's a better shot, not quite so tight. Had that shot way too tight. Thomas Doubting Watchtower. Isn't the Watchtower a book that the Jehovah's Witnesses use to teach stuff? I just totally asked a dumb question. You know what a dumb question is? A dumb question is where you already know the answer to your question and you're asking it. So, I mean, I guess it's not a dumb question if other people don't know you already know the answer. Oh, my glasses are all fogging up. I can't see anything. Stupid mask, stop. I'm gonna whine at it like it's my little sister. Drive me nuts. I can't frickin' see. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it when the mask is all throwing the breath all up in my eyes, and then my glasses are all foggy, and Critical Master told me to stop breathing. I would make a joke about that, except for the only problem is I recently had one of my patrons die, so I'm not making any jokes about that. And I really can't see out of my glasses at all. It's so fogged up now. It's like, I gotta change masks. That's what's going on. Time for a different mask. That one doesn't like me at all anymore. Yeah, but Thomas Doubting Watchtower, you should just know what you're what you're saying about their stuff. If you're gonna, say stuff about them, then have it. Did I have my mask backwards? That would be really dumb if I did. I think I did have my mask backwards last time. That way you don't sound uninformed. So you don't say the Watchtower is a cult, because the Watchtower is not a cult. The Watchtower is a book. And I'm not saying the other one's a cult, because I'm not letting you put any words in my mouth, but I don't disagree. Don't get me started on Scientology next, man. Go way off. Two things I probably shouldn't talk about at all on this channel. One of them is politics. We're about carving rocks, finding gemstones, chasing assholes off our land. Unless I'm the asshole. Oh, he asked what kind of fish are catching in Destin. I caught that right as I was looking up this time of year. And I don't know exactly what they're fishing for at the moment specifically, except for one of the biggest things that I always see coming off the boats and that people coming out of town for when I've lived here is snapper. Snapper's a real big deal over here. Everybody likes their snapper. But Destin, there's all kinds of stuff you can fish for. It's a big old ocean out there. I myself have not done that since I owned a boat many years ago. And it was only a small boat. And I didn't do much catching because I didn't have much information. But I do know that they definitely catch mad snapper out in this area. And shameless promotion, don't forget fire agate sales this weekend. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Most of the people talking I know here, so most of them I already know have hit that subscribe button. Oh, don't forget the bell notifications either. That's sort of screwed it up for everybody. It's not just like, hey, don't forget to subscribe. It's like, subscribe, then hit the bell notification, then tell YouTube that you want to see everything I ever post all the time. Whole thing is comical. I tell you what, I'll give the internet this and the companies the internet this. Whereas when I was growing up and the way I always imagined the world, companies sort of set their brand, set their mark, did things a certain way, and then that's sort of how they sold it. Now the internet has changed it to where companies are just dynamic and they just make people relearn the same thing different ways over and over and over again. I'm like, screw it, who cares? Like, you need to update. You as a human, you need to update. Trust me, dude, I so understand what you're talking about. I understand on the deepest level. I married into that sort of crap, but not exactly into it so much as the Doubting Thomas. It's a great name for it, though. Yeah, anyways, though, we're not here for that. I've been influenced by all kinds of religions in my life. I think spiritual people are awesome. I've seen too many manipulative people use religion as a manipulative tool against good people. I think that is not awesome. I'm sorry the Jehovah Witnesses harmed you, buddy. You can get back at them by living a long and fruitful life. Run from them, hide, get away, and then move on. Bend over. Have you noticed any carving indicators before blue or purple? Nah, dude, they're just in they're just some stones have blue and purple in them and some don't, and sometimes they're at some layers deep and sometimes they're right on top, and just everything just depends. Different stones have different things going on with them. You guys can't even see the color in this one because the flash on this phone is so yellow. You can't even see the red or the gray crackle coming out of this one. It's fine though. It's fine. I'll put that one away and get back to what I was doing on this one right here. Is pretty much polishing. Bend Over wants to know if there's just any sort of telltale signs, like a color pattern, because I'm sure he's probably talking about how he read from somewhere that I saw on somebody's page that they talked about the progression on the internet of colors and how it goes from this color to that color to this color to that color. And I have seen like rainbow bars before, but from where I've got my fire agate, have I seen it absolutely consistently? This color, then that color, then this color? No, not. The only thing I've been pretty consistent about is when I see that there's that good iron line and the bronzish colors, that there's usually at least one more color below that. That's what I'm absolutely confident in from both my claim and with Slaughter Mountain. Glasses, stop fogging up. I can't see. It's only every time I go to work because I'm leaning forward over this phone. Next time I'm just going to tie a shirt around my face, get rid of this stupid mask. Which now it's creeping up on my eyes. It's so funny. I can't barely see. Stupid mask, man. It's driving me insane. I swear this is the worst mask night I've ever had in my life. This mask is creeping up on my face, all up in my eyes. It makes me want to go get my respirator, but if I were to go and get my respirator, then you guys wouldn't be able to hear me at all. It'd be like talking out of a seriously muffled mask. I'd have to like bury the mic in the respirator somehow. Sound like Darth Vader. Probably exactly sound like Darth Vader too. Ah, dang it, I just flicked water in my eye while trying to fix my fogged up glasses. Really awesome. Yeah, America died in 1913. You didn't pay for any of your other stuff, buddy. Still have that stuff if you want to, though. If not, then I'm putting it back up for sale this weekend. Yours and like 3 or 4 other people from the last 2 sales. I have about, I would say 15 pre-sold stones that did not actually get paid for, that they're going to be up for auction again here this upcoming weekend. So if there was some stuff you liked before that you didn't get a chance at, you might end up having another chance at it now. Of course, that wasn't this last weekend, because I think everybody from this last weekend paid, but I have like, let's say at least 15 stones. Whoa, that wasn't good. I want to see what this looks like close up. See, I don't like that some of this area where that white was on. I'm just trying to get through that white agate, that it looks like that's the only color in that spot. Like it looks like it just dies out right there in both that spot and that spot. Now that green is like over here. But if those are dead spots that are that close, that makes me sort of want to just carve and see with an 80 grit and see what's lower in there. Good evening, Modern Prospector. Yeah, it definitely does almost make me want to just say screw it and grind down on this edge and see what I can find in the color there, and then if I find better color there, then just go ahead and take that down. I know I've got great stuff right here sort of rolling into it, but that pinfire mixed in with that white doesn't really seem like it's truly there to me. It seems like it's a really thin layer on top of maybe a thick clear layer that might be sitting on some more brown. That's what I'm considering. Alright, so on that note, I'm not ready to switch flex shafts and deal with burning my hand. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this same grit I have, which is a pretty soft grit, pretty fine grit I should say, not soft. It's definitely more fine than soft. And I'm going to shape some of this area that's exposed on this right here and some of these gouges in this clear. Some of this side right here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep polishing and keep grinding for at least the next, 20, 30 minutes. Get at least an hour underneath the belt tonight. I've been going hard all day, to tell you the truth, but I want to get some content up and I want to get some work in some of this stone. I want to get some work into this stone, and after I get some work into this stone, next time I come back, I want to take some fire agate windows and window them a little bit better for you guys, so they'll be up for sale after that with you guys seeing a little bit better color in them. I'll polish them down to a 1200 or maybe 13. We'll see. We shall see what happens. Oh, I was going to go for this. Now there's way more colors inside this stone. I just haven't gotten to them yet. I haven't gone trying to really expose the colors. I've been trying to expose the full stone first before I started being all adventurous with it. I think that made everything worse. That did make everything worse. Let me see about cleaning that again. Wow, what's going on with the camera now? Well, I tried cleaning it and all I did was make everything worse. Try one more time. Bouncing all over the place with viewers. 16, 20. There we go. That cleaned it. It's a little bit better. Is that alright? Is that alright now? And I'm just trying to follow the contours of the fire agate the way I can see that there's actually fire agate. I'm not trying to grind through any one spot so much as work it and try and make it more bright. Try and get the brown off of the bright colors so I can actually see what the bright colors are instead of the brown. Now so much of my days is spent learning things, I feel unproductive, but today when I finally was inside getting stuff done inside of the computer, and although it seemed like it took me forever to do certain things, but the quality of what's coming out is really good. I'm really happy with it at the moment. That makes me feel better about the time expenses. And I should say the transference, the using of time just for learning instead of creating. but I don't like creating at any cost. I'd rather be creating the way I see things. You guys are just getting, this phone is getting pelted with water right now, like, it's getting screaming slammed with water. Well, my hand's starting to cramp up. Too much speed, too much grip in it, like that. Although I do have those tendonitis issues in my hands. Today I've been working out with my son recently, and we did pull-ups today. It's not exactly, I don't think, great for my hands, but immediately after we did the pull-ups, I went and did some of the tendonitis stretching workouts with my hands, trying to sort of mitigate the, not damage is not the strain. Strain would probably be a more proper word than damage, that's for sure. I need to slow this water down a little bit. It's coming out so fast. I'm just getting squirted everywhere. That's way better. Now it's not a constant shower all over the place. Oh, ouch. That was bad. Now I'm a bit more comfortable using gloves with this rotary tool, but I think I just sort of got lucky right there that totally caught the glove and just took it. I got really lucky I didn't break the shaft or any other part, obviously, like on me, but so far I've had this happen before, and not with this tool though. The only other tool I've had this happen with was the cheap one from Harbor Freight. But that head grabbed that thing and just ripped the glove right off. That's for sure it did. I used to have long hair, Bill Randall, but you don't exactly dip your hair in the area that you're grinding, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, the green is definitely underneath that bronze though, because I was just working this edge right here and it just went from brown to green. So I'm not wanting to get too much into that though. What I'm wanting to do is I'm just wanting to get the shape right and get close to it, because I really just want to sort of polish to those colors. And I don't want to, while I'm polishing, which this is 325 to 4, it might even be a 6 because I got them mixed up at one point in time. But I don't want to get so close to it with the hard that when I'm going through the next stages that I lose the color. Like that's, a big deal. So I'm not trying to bring out all the color with this burr. I'm trying to get through as much of the garbage agate that I don't want on top of the color as possible. Before I move on to a finer grit or a different shape, or could be a couple of different things, or for a couple of different reasons, or both. Looks like Modern Prospector's telling people what kind of stones they can get places. Specifically sounded like he was talking about beryl. I only looked up and caught that, so I imagine the chat's going pretty good. That's always a good sign when you have a live stream and everybody's chatting good. That's what you want. Want them to be able to keep something going if I'm not holding your interest with my chatty catty self. Oh, almost ground up that other glove on my other hand. Totally almost caught that. That's not where I want to be. I want to be working on this. Got to get some more water going. I have like no water all of a sudden. Ugh. Getting a cramp in my calf from stomping on this foot pedal. Keeping my toe up. So looking at this stone, the question I'm having is, are these just two completely different formations of agate? You see this sort of like bubbleistic, nice stuff where this green's really coming through that bronze right there. Like I think I'm gonna be able to polish all this up on the outside to look like that, hopefully. But you see how it runs in, and then these lines of agate sort of run into it. I'm wondering, am I going to get these same dramatic broad flash, deep colors through this, or is this just going to be like the end of the formation and actually, you know, the great piece of agate is just this ring right here connected to this? That's what I'm wondering. That's the question I have in my head right now. That is the question I have in my head right now. Ooh. Trying to get close without going over. Need to get some of those Nova points. I still haven't purchased any real official Nova points yet. Need to get some of those. Haven't even tried them out. I've only tried the knockoff diamond impregnated plastic. Or rubber, I should say. Diamond impregnated rubber. Whoops. Dropped it in the water. Following the contours of the stone, the fire agate I can see, once again trying to get as close to the color layer, taking off the brown and clear agate. Oh, sorry about that. Just grabbed the microphone on accident. Didn't mean to. And from the way I see this agate peeking out, I am definitely thinking that it crawls underneath that line. That's what I'm thinking because of that area right there. Could be wrong, but that's what I believe. I do believe there is going to be a big monstrous stone underneath that still. I don't think that green is the last good color there, or these browns going to that green are it. Where I got these dead spots, what I'm talking about, if I'm not saying it appropriately. So next time I do a carving video, I will not be carving on this piece of fire agate. I will be using some Slaughter Mountain and windowing it a little bit deeper than it's already windowed. Checking for some colors, possibly on the wheels behind me. Maybe I'll do it by hand. I'm thinking I'll probably start on the wheels so I can burn through a lot more agate a lot quicker. I don't want to be too careful when I have these hand tools. I don't want to teach myself any bad habits. Bad habits are easy to acquire and hard to get rid of. So I want to avoid those when it comes to carving fire agate. I don't want to create any bad habits I can avoid. Right now, caution. Caution is my number one friend, because too many times I've thought it was no big deal, and it's only been a couple, but that's too many. And I could go with a heavier grit than I'm using, and next thing I know, I've blown through a section of the stone without even realizing it, or the edge of one of the burrs that's really aggressive catches a bubble that's standing up higher than the rest inside of the stone, and then it's just never good when you cut through a really nice layer of color and you don't think you can get it back. Doesn't feel good, man. It's emotionally damaging for a guy who's trying to carve by hand. Oh, I'm shooting so much water all over the place. I've got it dripping off of the table now. I need to get a better drip spigot. This one's either like on or off. There's no middle ground, it seems to be. Full on, barely off. Oh, I'm being all silent now. My hand's all cramping up on me. I'm all focused and pretty sure the shape of this area is coming out really nicely. Can't really tell when there's water running all over it. The water will totally make you think it's doing way better than it is. But when I was originally carving through what the color started to come out of this area over here, I had some pretty deep gouges in it. So knowing those gouges aren't there is good. I'm happy don't have all those gouges there. Getting that proper shape down to it. Oh, if you wanted to even talk me out of this piece, you'd have to add 2 zeros behind that. And that'd be right now at this point before I get anywhere else with it. Yep, yep. Yep, yep. I'm not quite ready yet. Looks like it's drying up. Bill Randall said $1 million. Bendover said, how much? 500? That's 100 less than I said. Crical Master says, take a 5-minute break. Oh, if I take a 5-minute break, I might not come back. When I do stop this, I am definitely done for the night. I'll probably go back to editing. Let me turn you guys around. I'll probably go back to editing as soon as I'm done with this on my other computer. I need to grab some toilet paper to dry some stuff up. The editing today has, over the last couple days, it hasn't been just today, but over the last couple days, the editing has been getting places, and I've been learning and understanding, and I'm starting to move around my computer a lot better. And my sons, we've been running, me and my wife have been running on Mac for so long that we have not needed antivirus software since we've had Macintosh. I've never had a problem since I've had Macintosh with any virus ever since I've had Mac. Now, my sons have computers that are PCs, and apparently their computers were all virused up. So when I got a PC, my wife made the suggestion that I get that I get some antivirus. So I got some good antivirus, and I decided to put it on my son's computers too. And they were talking about how their computers weren't working, and now their computers work again. So everybody's super excited and happy about their computers all working again, where they just weren't working before because they were so locked up with viruses and malware and stuff. Malicious garbage. So editing has been going well. I expect to have some good videos out for you guys soon, and I expect at least when I'm not traveling and I'm just needing to like upload quickly by my phone, in general, the content quality is definitely going to be going up on this channel. I definitely see that in the future. Music quality is going up too because I'm paying for a service now too. It's one good thing about the Fire Agate sales doing so well and patrons still being there for me and stuff is that I've had enough faith to start paying for monthly services that I normally would not have had enough faith to start purchasing. So that money's going towards production value, and everything I make nowadays just goes back into this. I mean, to tell you the truth, it's all just about creating multiple avenues and opportunities for greater success in the future. That's the way I see it. That's what I'm after. 60,000 bend over? Bend over. I think on these sides down here, I'm gonna have to get my what is it called, the cone, the inverted cone shape out. It's definitely going to do better down in those areas. The inverted cone shape is. Be able to get in the cracks and the crevices of this. Modern Prospector said he's been doing this for a long time now, Caleko. He doesn't think he'll ever stop having to put money back into this job. I'm fine with that, Modern Prospector. I don't have a problem with that, you know, as long as I understand everything and I've actually built some sort of a real business. But I just can't have it be off of faith. You know what I'm saying? I can't just depend off of faith. I'm too old for that. My kids are too old for that. And for the way I've lived my life, I need to have some modicum of success in the real world and not just adventuresome stories of a crazy life. Although they can create success in their own way. See, when I was younger, I grew up really poor, and I stole a lot, and then I got caught stealing, and then I got put to work by somebody who caught me stealing in his corner store in Oregon, and I sort of learned, you know, how you could earn, and from then I sort of started learning to hustle one way or another here and there. Cans to recycle, carts at the airport to return for quarters. Odd jobs here and there. If it would ice over, then I go and try and scrape people's stairs and stuff like that. So I've always sort of been industrious. And when I was younger in my 20s, I made lots of money really quick because I was willing to risk and do things in order to make a buck most people weren't willing to risk and do. So that sort of mentality definitely put me in situations where in the long run winning wasn't in the cards because the way I was playing the game wasn't the smartest and it wasn't for the long run. That's a good way to put it. I wasn't playing the game for the long run. Because you said it, may it always be so, Modern Prospector. The world has me up in arms. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Should say I don't know what to expect. Oh, all right. I think I'm going to cut this one off, guys, in about 8 minutes. My hand is really starting to have problems here. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm having some issues with that. Doing what I can for them to get better, which is part of the reason I'm not out digging a whole lot all the time. But I will have another carving video possibly tomorrow, maybe the next day after that. Haven't made up my mind. I will make up my mind and put a post about it tomorrow, though. I promise you that. A couple other videos I need to make too. So that's going to be happening with this whole editing situation doing pretty well. There does look to be some crackle on this, but it's not too dramatic, and I'm not really sure. And if you're talking about right here, no, that's pin fire. That would be what they call pin fire. The one I have in here that has crackle on it, you can't really see because of the yellow of this light, so I can't really show it to you too well. Stone's coming out pretty good. I think next time we come back, I'm going to take an 80 grit, a 40-80, and I'm probably going to carve through this hump and hope I get more of that amazingness in it. I mean, we got it peeking out over here right there. You got that really gold shine. So I'm figuring this color probably runs across this whole stone underneath that. That's what I'm betting. And yeah, if somebody was serious, I would sell this stone right now for 600 bucks to where I didn't have to do any more work on it. But believe me, when I get done with it, it's going to be a lot more than that. You mean down there? There's totally red in there, bud. I think there might be some purple in there too. Modern Prospector asked, that's a mean looking piece, Caleko. Where are you putting your stones of this exceptional quality and completion up for sale? That's a great question. I haven't finished any to put up for sale yet. I owe everybody in my life fire agate right now, and I am going to be finishing out some fire agate that aren't so involved as this really soon for my patrons, because I owe all of my patrons, and they're going to be getting their stuff. Sometimes I'm slow about getting my patrons their stuff, but they always get it, and it's always meant to be really good. That's one of the things about with my patrons on Patreon. I try to hook them up to like make it worth it for being one of those people that's like, yeah, I'm going to make a pledge to make a donation every month, or whatever, call it whatever you want, a donation or a investment or a gift or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's somebody basically every month saying, yeah, I'm going to help support, what you're doing. And that's a big deal. It is a big deal. Being one of those people that's been, a salesman my whole life, dealing with cash transactions and tending to be feast or famine. Somebody saying, yeah, I'm going to do this every month, that says a lot. So to my patrons that are here or watching this, I'm sorry I haven't gotten you your guys' stuff yet. To the guy that won that finished stone, the only reason you haven't gotten your finished stone yet is because it's going into its final polishing stage in a vibratory tumbler with some pieces like this that are all but finished with their final stage, and that's how that's going to be finished out. It's the only reason you haven't gotten that stone yet. And I haven't finished carving around its sides, but I'm going to do that on video for you too. Whoever it was that won that, I can't remember your name right now. I was feeling so bad about not getting my patrons' stones done. I was almost considering just sending them some colorful fire agate, more than one piece. And I was like, no, man, I think they'd rather have a finished beautiful product. That's what I came up with, at least. That was what the decision I ended up making. See some comments coming in. Let's see. Bill Randall said, how many carats now? Oh, this is in the hundreds. This is at least 100 carats plus. Modern Prospect says his long-term goal is to open up a retail store in some super rich place like Malibu or Jackson's Hole with custom pieces. I live in an area like that. I would love to get that sort of place open, and I'm in a tourist trap, which I have these whole ideas where, yeah, man, when I go and I have these ideas to get this stuff open, to make plenty of money and still be able to do videos and travel and stuff, and I just need to get them open. I need the money to get them open, which I've never had credit. I need to build my credit. I can't believe I never wanted credit, and now I wish I had credit. Bill Randall says your retail costs will be very high, MP, Modern Prospector. Mohamed Malik says he loves the green color in the stone. Thank you. Next time, I'm going to have a white light here, so I don't have to use this yellow off of this flash. And it shows, the stone a bit better. Natural color. Bendover asks if I'm selling any more super crackly pieces like one piece that went off last week. That just happened to be a stone that came out of the bag and was amazing the way it was. And that was just luck of what my buddy from the Native American reservation sent me. That's just that luck of that. It's one of those really good pieces that happens to be in there. What I do plan on doing is the next time I'm carving, which is going to be in the next day or two, I plan on windowing some more Slaughter Mountain fire agate and windowing it past the way it is. So if the fire agate is like this and it's not showing any color, then I will carve it until it's showing some color like that. That way you guys will be able to see it when I'm doing the sales. So that's what's going to be happening the next time I'm here carving, which is, in a day or so. In a day or so. I'm actually expecting to be doing that carving tomorrow night, but I don't want to sit here and tell you guys I'm going to be back here tomorrow night doing that, and then I'm not. I don't want to be that guy, so I'm trying to avoid being that guy by just saying, hey, I might right now. Luis Gutierrez says, on rough natural agates, do you tumble first before carving? Sometimes. That is totally something you can do. It just sort of depends. It's a good question, Luis. And I'm just gonna stop my carving right now for the second, shut my water off so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's a great question. And I'm gonna move my water and dump it really fast. And then after I dump my water, I'm going to answer that question for you. Anybody else that has some good questions, I'm going to address your questions. Go ahead and start typing them in because I'm going to address them here in just a second before I cut out for the night. There, my water bin is empty. Don't have to worry about spilling that anywhere. I can get that out of the way. And now I can grab this. This weekend, Bendover, probably 9 p.m., maybe 9:30 this weekend though, for sure. Now, if you have rough fire agate that comes out of the ground, it's just got a whole bunch of white chalcedony on it, and you can't see any color in it, then there's nothing wrong with putting this in a tumbler if you'd like to. At the same time, the type of tumbler you use matters. I would not put this inside of a rotating tumbler, inside of your typical barrel tumbler, because it's going to be rounded. A lot of times, like some of the stones that you see that I have here, I would get a vibratory tumbler, which is more expensive, and I would buy some plastic non-floating vibratory triangles, which is more expensive, because then it polishes everything at its natural shape. It still rounds some points if they're pointy like that, but it still will tend to polish like a fire agate that has rounds on it like that. It will polish those rounds instead of making the whole edge round. It'll keep its natural shape way more in a vibratory tumbler when you use a vibratory tumbler right. Now, most of this agate that's in this box tends to be really top grader. It's probably not in this box. This box actually came from the mine like this. I remember this one specifically. Now pieces like this is a great piece. Pieces like this, there's no way I would stick this in a tumbler because you're going to lose your color on it. It came out of the ground like this. It's got that iron, and you can see the green peeking out under the iron. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to rub this on my pants, right? Actually, I'm not even going to rub it on my pants. I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to polish this right before your eyes probably and show up more color. Now you would not want to take this piece and throw it in a tumbler, because as soon as your 80 grit coarse tumbler grit hits it, it's going to ruin it. Bam! Y'all see that right there? This is what's so great about Opal Hill, is that we have pieces that come out with this iron stain, and right on underneath that iron stain is that amazing gem color. And all I had to do is rub some of that off of there, literally. So it really depends on what type of fire agate you're talking about, you know, how hardcore it is. If it's like some of the pieces that you saw in my last auction that came from Slaughter Mountain, that's huge chalcedony, you know, it's not like color right on top right there, then sure, don't worry about it. But if it's a piece from Opal Hill like this that has that iron line and that color right on top, hell no. Because this is a gemstone ready to go right here. So that's my answer to that question for my buddy Luis, who I thought was somebody else. Bendover said auctions. Friday, it'll be Saturday and Sunday night. The next auctions will be Saturday and Sunday night. That's bad. The 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night at 9 p.m. I just realized that one of my things might have chipped this tub. I'm not happy about that. One of my handles banging on this thing might have chipped the tub, and I need to fix it. I'm really upset, actually. I just noticed that. I don't remember ever seeing that before. And it goes right to it. That sucks. That sucks. Let me see what else got said. Modern Prospectors talking about Tandy and Milton Metals, and Jason Davis says, if you like Topaz Mountain like I do, if you haven't been to Garnet Hill in Ely, Nevada, I recommend it. If you have any ideas for me like that, please send any ideas like that to miningamerica.digideas@gmail.com, and I go through those emails before I go anywhere on a trip. That way, if I have somebody that's contacted me and said, hey, hit me up if you're out there. If that's something I want to do, then I definitely check it out. And I appreciate ideas like that, but when they come in like this, I'll never remember it when it's time for me to need that idea. Whereas if it's in that email address, which I only use for DigIdeas, then I will remember it. So it's miningamerica.digideas@gmail.com. Tandy Jenkins says she gets her silver from Rio Grande, which I get a bunch of my stuff from Rio Grande. That's where this flex shaft came from, was from Rio Grande, and it's really fair priced. And I'm going to talk to them about advertising on my channel because we're a really good fit. Bendover says, what does your guy at the mine look for in rough, or does he send you what he has? Are there indicators in good quality rough? That depends on the type of material, what area of the country it's from, and just because a piece of rough has good color on the outside does not mean how deep the lines and the bars are on the inside. Fire agate is, don't judge a book by its cover. It really is. Yes, some pieces come out of the ground screaming that they're $1,000, $10,000 piece. There are pieces like that. At the same time, you can get a giant rock of agate out of the ground that looks like garbage and then clean it off with somebody that knows how to carve a $100,000 gemstone. It's very possible. I was going to say easy, but it's not easy. It's very possible. Michael DeFabio says, thanks for the beast of the package today. Thank you for purchasing so many stones, Michael. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Gary Nevada said, camera. Can you recommend? What kind of camera? Yeah, Canon 80D right now. Either the Canon 80D or the Canon EOS T6 II, T6II. One of those two. Canon. I got a Nikon right now. I like the Nikon, but I really want to get a Canon. And I just had the opportunity to purchase a 4K video camera, Canon, that's like a $3,000 camera. Someone in my area on Facebook was selling it for $1,200. They needed money, and I couldn't purchase it. I wanted to purchase it, but I don't got that money. I wanted to purchase it with somebody else's money, but I couldn't. Because it's like you can't do selfie, and it's not as usable, and it's a 4K camera, which means if I bought that 4K camera, I was only doing 4K video, so I would need so much storage space I don't have. I don't have a 10 gig hard drive. I mean, a 10 terabyte hard drive. I don't have a 100 terabyte hard drive, which some of these people have now. It's insane what people are carrying. Bill Randall says, you looking for calcite veins? Yeah. Sometime, maybe if I'm in an area. Miss Hustle says, do you sometimes get moonstones? I do not at this point. If I ever run into a place that has them, I totally will. I don't know much about moonstones except that they have a little bit of a blue hint back at them. I definitely like labradite a lot, though. And on that note, guys, I am about to pee my pants. I really appreciate you guys for being here. We've been doing this for about 100 minutes. I am going to be back soon. In the next day or two, I will be back with another carving video. And in that carving video, I will be carving more windows out of Slaughter Mountain fire agate that I plan on selling this weekend. So also, if you're one of those people that hasn't been able to take care of your auctions, it's not a big deal, but your stuff is going to go back up for auction, and please send me a message or hit me up if you are wanting to bid and you have auctions that you haven't paid for, because I am not one of those people that wants to allow people that don't pay for their auctions to bid up other people on my site when they're not paying. You're either a paying customer or you're not bidding, and that's just fair. So I like to keep things fair. Everybody's saying thank you. Bill Randall says he just lost audio. I hope nobody else lost audio. Michael DeFabio says it's back. All right, well, I don't know how much of that you guys heard, but if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. I have another video real soon. Have a good night. Love you for watching. Bye.